I cannot believe what happened in yesterday's episode. We were this close to getting promoted, but all because we were bottled in the second half. We have to endure a fifth season in the National South. We've got to get out this season. We've just got to. Hello, welcome to Club One Pot 29 of the Globe Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we do have our transfer window where hopefully we do build a good enough squad to hopefully get us out of this thing. Because obviously, if you didn't see yesterday's episode, it was a very, very heartbreaking defeat in the player final. A 4-3 defeat against Dagenham and Redbridge. In that match, we were 3-1 up at half time, but then we just completely lost our heads in the second half, which does mean that is three playoff finals, two back-to-back final losses, obviously three in total, which is very frustrating. It really is. But let's take a look at our end of season review. So competitions wise, didn't do too bad in the FA Cup. Getting knocked out in the fourth qualifying round by who would have thought it? Got knocked out by Weymouth. Obviously, we beat them in the semi-finals quite comfortably. I feel like this has got to be the year we get to the first round of the FA Cup. I'm so confident that we might not show the fourth qualifying round because that might seem to be the issue. I doubt it. We're just not good enough to get to the first round yet. FA Trophy, I'm not too fussed about that because there's not much money in that unless we get to the final. Then there's a lot of money in that. And win it, there's a lot of money by winning it. FA Cup, you get the most money in the FA Cup. That's what we want to try and do this year. But fingers crossed. Board-wise, I think it's been a fairly positive season. Yeah, A-, so it's not too bad. A few negatives here and there. Apart from the playoff final, it's not really much to moan about. But in terms of budgets, I just sort of touched on them last year, last episode. Got no transfer budget, which is fairly self-explanatory. £452 spare wage budget. Obviously, that will go up. But let's take a look at next season's expectations. So, obviously, the board to this is all the same as last year. But let's take a look at the 5-year plan. So, they want us to record a Enterprise South top half finish. I want to get promoted this year. That's the bottom line. Be competitive in the FA Cup. I think that's all fine by me. I do, we'll reach the playoffs, so that gives me a little bit of extra wage budget. That's like a cheat code, that is. So yeah, we'll do that. I know I'm going to get in the playoffs because we've done it twice in a row. Obviously, 3 times in total. The second season was just a little bit of a blip. But since then, we've been absolutely on fire. We just can't get over the final hurdle. Let's discuss the plans for next year. We will say we can make the playoffs. Obviously, most of these players aren't going to be with us next year. That will be confirmed. I'm not sure who's going to be staying. I'm not sure who's actually signed a new contract. So we're not going to talk to them for now, because I suspect half of the squad will be leaving us. Pre-season will last 5 weeks. So let's take a look at the squad, see who is staying at the club for now. So staying at the club will be Asaga Silva. He's actually contracted until 2031, so that is very good. So he's got potentially another 2 seasons with us. Still only 20 years old. That is quite amazing. Then obviously we've got Harry Holt, obviously a relatively new player, alongside Jordan Thomas and Darren Bashu. Actually, we've got multiple players. Ignore George Evans. So we've got Silva, Holt, Jordan Thomas, Darren Bashumo, Tyler Cook, Harry Rodder, and Woody Burgess. So that's a very good spine of the squad. And Ferdinand Doko just as a backup. He probably won't play any games next season, but still fairly cheap wages. I think there is a couple players I wouldn't mind trying to give a new contract. I think Morgan Bates is definitely one of them. I think Scott Hamilton, I think his career's done. I really do think. Obviously, we've got 2 out of contract players, Trey George and Louis Henry. They will stay at the club until we find a suitable replacement for them. So I think Morgan Bates being on £900, I don't think he's going to want a ridiculously high wage increase. He says he wants 1,200. He's not having that. Yeah, we'll try and keep him the same if we can, if he can accept it. Obviously, him being his own agent doesn't really help. Yes, £950. It's a £50 wage increase for 1 more year. That's completely fine. I take that. I don't really want to be paying any players over £1,000. So obviously we do have one player earning over £1,000. That is Danny Cashman. I think if he could, I mean, he's not that great. So I think Danny Cashman might be on his way out, but he might not be. I don't really, still don't know who's going to be leaving. I wouldn't mind trying to keep Frankie Phillips for next year, but obviously still contracted at Exeter City for now. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to get him back for next year. So that would be nice. So obviously, we need a two new goalkeepers because Donahue and Abbottson not great at all. Apart from that, not really sure who else is staying or going. I think most of the players out of contract probably won't get renewed. Obviously, apart from Bates, Maskell might, but there's question marks over him. Obviously, we've got Jordan Thomas, who is just as good as and has got great potential. I don't think we've got any other decent under 21s. I didn't really see my youth intake this year, but I think we'll be fine. We'll come back 1st of July, then I'll have a little bit of an update of who's left and who is staying at the club. Then hopefully we can try and figure out what positions we need to sign. Well, it was currently the 1st of July, and as predicted, I said this in the previous clip, we have basically pretty much released half of the squad, but the good news is we have signed 3 new players. Well, 2 of them are new, 1 of them we did have last season, but now a permanent, Mr. Frankie Phillips, obviously still goalkeeper, not changed his position yet, but not that crazy. 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential, lead and enterprise star, potentially lead to, obviously comes in on a free transfer from Exeter City. He had a great loan spell. He had 2 loan spells with us. Obviously he came in the first half of the season and had a little bit of break away from us and came in the second half of the season. Still pretty good, 10 clean sheets. I'm very pleased we've got him for next year. 6'4", didn't realise he was that tall, but only 22. He's going to keep on getting better. Then next up are 2, one of them slightly good, who has potential to be good. The other one probably just going to be a backup. Then first one up, we've got Luke Bell. He's a English centre-back, 23 years old, 2.5 stars of current ability, 4.5-star potential. Good enterprise star, potentially national standard. He comes in on a free transfer from Luton and started off his career at Sunderland. He's never actually played a game of football in his life, which that might be a little bit interesting, but he has agreed to be a fringe player, so we could probably get another centre back on top of him. And then we've got Kobe Sinclair Linton, who's a 22-year-old English centre back, 2 stars of current ability, 2.5-star potential. Not great, but he is only a backup. He's a good enterprise south player, which I guess is alright. He comes in. If we didn't pay 5k for him, maybe that might have been compensation fee, but yeah, I don't know how we pay 5k for him. We've got no money. That transfer should never have gone through. But he came in on basically a free transfer from Hendon. Previously, I played experience at Maidenhead. McDonald's didn't actually make any appearances, but also had loan spells at Hitchin and Kings Langley. But he did have a decent spell at Hendon last year, but not too bad. So that's the 3 players that we have brought in. We have kept some of our players that we had with us last year on on non-contracts. Those are Trey George, Jake Donahue, Louis Henry, and Daniel Watts. Mainly because I don't think we need another goalkeeper, so Jake Donahue can probably be an adequate backup until he obviously ends up leaving. And same with Daniel Watts, he's probably not good enough to start, but we can still give him a non-contract, so he'll be fine until he eventually leaves. So obviously goalkeepers we're completely fine unless obviously Donahue leaves, then we'll go searching for another another goalkeeper. Then centre backs, obviously this year we've got obviously new boys Sinclair Linton and Luke Bell. George Evans will be returning back to Plymouth unless we've got him for another year. We don't, so he'll be gone pretty much as soon as possible. And obviously we've got the ever present Asago Silva, who is wanted by Altrincham. Where are they? They're in the national standards, so just in the National League. So yeah, I'm hopeful we can keep hold of Saga Silva. Then obviously right backs this year we've got new boy Harry Holt, or relatively new. Then alongside Harry Rodder. So we've got two Harrys at right back. That's not going to get confusing at all. Then obviously left back. So obviously we've got David Bashumo alongside Louis Henry. Louis Henry still at the club. I don't think we really need to strengthen in the left back because Bashumo's fine. Henry's completely adequate as a left back. We saw it last year. He's fine, absolutely fine. Then obviously centre mids we've got obviously Watts, Burgess, and Ocko. So I feel like probably do need another centre mid because Matty Palmer has left the club. We're getting alongside a whole host of players, which we'll get to in a minute. And centre attacking mids, we've just got Trey George at the moment. Obviously, we do need another centre attacking mid, maybe defensive mid, just in case we do need to switch formations. But I think the attack 4-2-3-1 worked well last year. We just need to stick with it and get some decent players in each of the positions. Then left winger, obviously we've got Tyler Cook still at the club, and it's fairly decent. And Jordan Thomas still at the club. Looks like a great player. Obviously, his strongest position is technically up front, but we're not really playing a channel forward. So, hopefully, I presume we are actually training him up to be a right winger. We are, and I presume we're doing that out possession as well. We are. I don't know why he's not becoming a natural at it. That seems a bit weird, but hopefully he's a natural right winger by the end of the season. So we definitely need a number 10 and two wingers on either side, or maybe someone who can play both. That would be ideal then. Obviously, only striker at the moment will be Morgan Bates. Then moving on to the players that have left the club. I probably should have done this at the same time I announced the signing. So leaving the club, obviously Danny Cashman has left the club. He was on a lot of money, and he wouldn't agree to a wage cut. Then alongside him leaving is Jordan Turnbull, Matt Palmer, Scotty Hamilton. Obviously injuries got in the way of him, and he didn't really score a whole host of goals last season, so might as well get in another striker while we can. Ashton McWilliams, Josh Maskell, yeah, didn't really had bags of potential, but didn't really improve like the way I hoped he would. Jerome Ossie was a decent backup, but he's gone. Alongside Oscar Abbottson and youngsters Leon French, Justin Rivers, and Ryan Johnson. So that's a lot of money. 8K. Ooh, we've got money to spend, and the best thing is we've got a clause we could potentially sell. We're not going to, but we could sell Corey Sound-and-Bird's clause, which is our sell-on clause. We're not going to do that because we've got 20%. And should he go anywhere, he is wanted by Barrow on loan, but he would be a bad signing. But he's a channel forward again. We're playing him with a central forward, so I don't think he's realistically a player that we need to get. Harry Holt's got a couple clauses. I don't know why they're on here, but they've got a 15% sell on. We signed him on a free transfer though. That doesn't make any sense, does it? I don't know why those are on there because we're not owing them anything after a international appearance. That's just weird. But I think going through the positions, obviously goalkeeper is sort of done. I think the only positions that need strengthening are the attacking areas, possibly another central midfielder and another centre back. Then we're basically done, and we've got a lot of money to do it. So hopefully, probably come back around 2 weeks' time just to have a little bit of a pre-season check. Then hopefully by then we might have signed all of the positions that we need, and that'll be us all set for next season. But hopefully by 2 weeks' time, should have another 2 or 3 players in the door. Well, it's currently the 17th of July. We're roughly around halfway through pre-season, even though we've only played one pre-season friendly, which was a 2-2 draw against Bristol Rovers. I know it's only a friendly, but that's still a great result. I mean, imagine if we could beat Watford. That would be absolutely horrendous result, but I don't think we will. I suspect we'll get smashed. But we have signed a couple more players, or we might have signed just one more player. Now we have signed a couple more players. First up being Quincy Dixon. He is a English striker. Can play as a attacking midfielder, but his best position is up front as a central forward, which is very, very good. So he'll play. He'll just be in competition with Morgan Bates. But the only slight negative is he is out injured for 3 to 6 weeks. But he is a good Enterprise South player, potentially League Two. He comes in on a free transfer from Bristol Rovers. So he played 10 games for them last season. That is, I did not know that at all. 10 games, that's not too bad in League One. It's not too bad that he's got League One experience. That's what I was hoping for, and decent EFL experience. So he's not like one of those players where he hasn't played a single game for his parent club, but he looks like a decent player. Then next up, we've got spotted another backup player, Jaheim Dotsey. He is a English right winger, 2 stars of current ability, 3.5 star potential. Good Enterprise South player, not really going to improve that much, but he comes in on a free transfer from Wickham. Made one appearance for Wickham, so again, not too bad. Came off the bench for them, so, but he did score. So I think he'll be a decent backup. Obviously, we've got Jordan, whatever his name is, our bright, talented right winger. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Jordan Thomas. I got his first name right. Just couldn't remember his second. But he's now 3.5 stars of current ability at right winger. His out position isn't really improving, but as long as the in position will improve, so I guess that is completely fine. But those are two decent signings. We are obviously still on the lookout for a couple more signings, but I think we're doing quite well in terms of the squad. It's quite full. So I mean, I look at this. It's good. It's got potential, the squad. But this is the situation at the moment. Obviously, goalkeepers are fine. Centre backs are still potentially looking for another one. I think we've got offers in. We've got an offer for Sam Harrison. He is a centre back. That's fairly decent. 3 stars of current ability, good potential. Not too bad. Hopefully he comes in. And we've also made an offer for Cody Twose. He is a centre attacker mid. That's quite decent. Don't really know what his potential is, but his current ability looks quite good. We're the only team that's made an offer for him, so hopefully he comes in. So if those two comes in, that'd be defence and the centre attacker mid does. So at the moment, we do just only need another left winger and a centre mid. I don't know what we do with left wingers. I don't know if we get in another one on top of Tyler Cook, or we just get in one with similar current ability and similar potential, so they can fight it out. Because I think that'd be a very interesting battle. Because Tyler Cook's a decent player. He's not great. He's average. He's average. He's only young as well, so might potentially look to get in alone. I don't know. We'll see. We've got plenty of time before the first games of the season, which are against Weymouth and Tonbridge. So I'd say quite a simple start. Obviously, we know we can beat Weymouth. Tonbridge, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how we did against them last season. But hopefully, by the time the new season rolls around, we should have fully assembled a 22-man squad, hopefully capable of getting us out of this league. Well, we have made it to the start of the brand new Enterprise South season, and there's no question in my mind, with the signings we've done in today's episode, that there's no reason why we can't go up this year. There's just no reason why we can't go up. Allow me to reintroduce the signings we have done this season. Obviously, first up, we signed Frankie Phillips. Obviously, was on loan with us last year. Now, as a permanent, that's very good. Great potential. Potentially League Two. So he's going to be with us potentially for the next couple of years. For as long as I'm at the club, Frankie's going to be out of the club. He ain't going anywhere. The next up, obviously, we had Luke Bell, centre back, 2.5 stars of capability, 4.5 star potential, decent enterprise star potentially. League Two, he came in on a free transfer from Luton. Obviously, never played for him, but still good signing. Then next up, Kobe Sinclair Linton. He is a 22-year-old English centre back, 2 stars of capability, leading regional player now, potentially Enterprise South. He is only 22. I thought he'd have a little bit more potential, but we signed him from Hendon, not for 5k, but we did sign him. That's about me. 5k is questionable. I think it was a compensation fee, but it doesn't really matter. Next up, we signed Quincy Dixon. He is a English striker, can play as a number 10, but primarily we brought him in to be another striker. 3 stars of capability, 4.5 star potential. Good enterprise star player, potentially League Two. He comes in on a free transfer from Bristol Rovers. Looks like a very, very decent player. Then next up, we've got Shaheem Dotsey. He is a English 22-year-old right winger, 2 stars of capability, 3.5 star potential. Decent enterprise star player, potentially not really going to improve that much. I was anticipating his potential to be a enterprise national player, but he might be eventually. But he comes in on a free transfer from Wickham. Looks like a decent backup for Jordan Thomas on the right hand side. And next up is the players you haven't met yet. We sort of touched on these two briefly, but we haven't introduced them fully. First up, we've got Sam Harrison. He's a English centre back, 22 years old, 2.5 stars of capability, 4.5 star potential, and good enterprise south player, potentially League Two standard. He comes in on a free transfer from Reading and a loan spell at Basingstoke last year. He did alright, played 33 games, 1 player of the match of performance. No goals scored, but that's completely fine. I don't expect goals from my centre backs that much, unless it's from a corner. That's when I expect them to get the goals. But I think he looks like a decent centre back. Then next up, we've got Cody Twose. He is a Welsh attacker midfielder, 3.5 stars of capability, 4.5 star potential, leading enterprise south player, potentially League Two. He comes in on a free transfer from Cardiff. We are paying him quite a lot of money, but we've got plenty. I think we've got plenty of budget left over. We'll take a look at the budgets after, just before the end of the episode. Paying him £900, so quite a lot. But I mean, look at his value: 18k to 140k. Do we ever just? No, you don't. You don't have an agent. Most of the players in the Enterprise South don't tend to have agent, which is quite annoying, especially when it comes to selling them. Then next up, we've got Sean Cox, who's a player we've actually come up against last season. He had a loan spell for Merthyr. Pretty decent when we played against him, but he's come in Welsh left winger, 3 stars of capability, 5 star potential, good enterprise South player, potentially. I mean, the potential League One doesn't really affect us at all, but he's come in on loan from Shrewsbury for the whole of this season. I do just want to check. It is the whole of this season. I am hoping. Yeah, the whole of this season, because obviously Frankie Phillips, who we had on loan last year, he had 2 short-term spells, which I didn't want to make the same mistake as like we did with Larry, because we lost him at the halfway point of the season, which we didn't really we sort of replace him with, but it wasn't a great replacement by no means. It is now. Then last but not least, we've got Oliver Pimlott, who looks absolutely brilliant, by the way. 22-year-old English central midfielder, 4 stars of capability, 4.5 star potential, good enterprise national player, potentially League Two. He comes in on a free transfer from Millwall. Previously had actually made 1 appearance for Burnley. Wow. That's in the Championship, so not too bad. Only 1 appearance for Burnley. Didn't make any appearances for Millwall, but pretty good, pretty decent player. Again, another expensive player, paying him 1k a week, but I mean, we do have plenty of budget left over. We've still got 4k that we can splurge on a player. I highly doubt we're going to sign anyone else, but this is the squad going into the new season. So we've got Donahue and Phillips as the keepers. Phillips very much first choice. We are offering Donahue a new contract just because he's agreeing to be a backup, and he's going to have a lower wage, which will be quite good. Then centre backs will be Sam Harrison, Kobe Sinclair into Luke Bell and Isago Silva. I'm very sure Isago Silva is going to be a first choice. I'm not sure who's going to partner him. It's either going to be Luke Bell or Sam Harrison. Kobe's probably very much going to be a emergency backup. Their left backs, we've got Louis Henry as backup, David Basuma as first choice. Right backs, we've got Harry Holt and Harry Rodder. They're just going to battle it out just between them because they're pretty much similar, same ability. Rodder's got slightly better potential, but he is wanted by Scunthorpe. I don't know how much he's worth. A bit of money, but I don't know. We'll see. We haven't had any offers for any of our other players yet over the summer. Then centre mids, we've got Pimlott, Burgess, Ferdinand Oko, and obviously we've still got Daniel Watts. I think Pimlott and Burgess are very much our nailed on starting pair. Well, obviously Watts and Oko as the two backups. Then right wingers this season, we've got Shaheem Dotsey. He's going to be backing up. Who else do we have on the right? Jordan Thomas. He'll be our starting right winger. Then Dotsey as the backup. Centre attacker mids, we've got obviously new boy Cody Twose, and then his backup will be Shay George at the moment. Obviously still on a non-contract, so he could potentially leave the club at any time. Then left wingers, we've got Tyler Cook alongside Sean Cox. I think Sean Cox probably will be our starting left winger. Then Tyler Cook, obviously, still only 19 years old, bags of potential. Probably will be a backup, maybe a rotation option up there. Then strikers, we've got Morgan Bates and Quincy Dixon. I haven't had a look at Quincy Dixon yet because he has been injured, but he will be, hopefully should be back in ideally in the second game of the season. Probably won't feature in the first game, but definitely probably might be up against Tom Bridge, depending on what his fitness levels are like. But definitely in 2 episodes time, so about a quarter away through the season, we'll get him into the squad hopefully. But this is the season preview heading into our 5th season in the Enterprise South. There are only 2 relegated teams that are coming down from the National League. They are Aldershot and Sutton. They're predicted to finish 8th and 10th. We're predicted to finish 3rd. This is where we finished last year. I feel like this has got to be the year we either win the playoffs or we just avoid the playoffs and just win the league automatically. That'd be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. We do have a player in the Dream 11. That's Pimlott. He's not left back at all, is he? Can he play left back? I don't think he can. He can play left back. I'm not playing him there. He's playing centre mid, but he is in the Dream 11. It shows you how good he is. Do we have anyone else? Is that Odson Edouard? It's not. I mean, imagine if it was. That would be absolutely insane. But I'm very happy with this squad. Very happy. We're not playing a 4-2-4. We're very much sticking with a 4-2-3-1 this year, which it did well last year. We were just a little bit unfortunate towards the end of the season. But if we can have lots of wins, less amount of draws, and obviously we didn't lose that many games last year, but we just need to start winning more games and be less inconsistent. So hopefully we have a good start to the season in the next episode, where we'll be playing our first matches against Weymouth and Tonbridge. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.